Hi, and thanks for coming to watch my video. Before I begin though, have you considered the idea of subscribing and ringing that notification bell if you haven't already? It would really be helpful if you did. Thanks! Hello YouTube, and thank you once again for tuning in to Thinking Caps On. I got thinking about some of the multilingualism in the world, and a certain story came to mind, and I want to thank Molly Maldvan for suggesting this one on my Facebook page. She suggested that a certain story involving a certain tower in a certain ancient place called Shinar might make for an interesting story. So sit back, relax, and as always, we're gonna have some fun. This story comes courtesy of Genesis chapter 11 and the first several verses of that chapter. It's sometime after the flood, and the people have started to migrate away from the ark, I guess, and move eastward. And the Bible says that they came to a certain place called Shinar. Shinar? You decide how it's pronounced. At any rate, they come to Shinar. At any rate, they come to the place and they decide, hey, let's build a tower. We'll have it reach high into the heavens. It'll be wonderful. We'll be famous. And for whatever reason, they feel the need to build this because otherwise they might be scattered over the earth. Spoilers, you were anyway, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So they decide to start building a tower out of bricks instead of stone, because, not bricks! My goodness! And as they're building, they also use tar to hold the bricks together. And I guess this is innovation at its finest. I mean, hey, we still use bricks and mortar today, so I guess they were onto something? But as they start to build and everything, what is happening is that the people aren't spreading out. They're just gathered working on this one building project. And as the biblical narrative goes, Jehovah is looking down from its throne high up in the heavens and is displeased.
You know, they all speak one language, and this is what they do. This is not what I wanted! We have to do something about this. I know. We'll go down there and we'll confuse the languages, and then they're just gonna have to scatter out. They won't be able to build. I am so smart.
I don't know where the hell that came from. I might be ad-libbing a little bit. You get the picture. At any rate, yes, Jehovah comes down and just scatters everybody else. And the whole reasoning for it is like, well, if this is what they do when they're all of one language, then nothing is going to be impossible for them. And they're not going to do what I want them to. They're not going to fill the earth like I want them to. So this whole idea about Jehovah not interfering and letting mankind go about their own business? Kind of busted already, don't you think? But getting ahead of myself, because then what happens is, okay, so now the languages are confused. I imagine something happening like this. Let's say, just because I speak English, let's say at the start of it all that they were speaking English to begin with. So you have one guy and another guy working side by side. Crack, 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 crack.
Brick, please. Brick.
Crack, crack, crack.
Yeah, that looks good. I need some tar over here. Tar, here you go. Thanks, buddy. This is so easy.
And then, all of a sudden, one of them is now speaking German. Yeah, we'll go with German. So, okay, so English, German.
Backstein! What? What? Backstein! No, your back is fine. There's no stains on it. What's he talking about? Nein, du Idiot! Backstein! You want some cake? Didn't we just eat a little while ago? Nein.
Crack, 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 crack.
Oh, you wanted a brick. Why didn't you say so? Bob, you're starting to lose it. You should get out of this heat.
Crack, 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 crack.
Timt. No. My name's not Tim. It's Nimrod. Nimrod. Say it with me now. Nimrod. Nein! Timt! Timt! I don't even understand what you want. Like, now you're asking for peanut butter?
You can imagine that the building project wouldn't go very far from there. And as the biblical account goes, they gradually left off building the tower and scattered about. And that was the end of that. It was an unfinished project. So, what can we really learn from this account? Well, supposedly this is where all of the languages come from, and this is why the world is so full of different dialects and everything else. This is the biblical attempt at trying to explain that to us. Now again, let's just take this at face value and just for a moment take our thinking caps on and make ourselves believe that it's actually history. No, I can't take it off. I gotta keep it on. So this account basically, once again, shows that Jehovah is this sort of God that likes to just interfere and meddle about in human affairs. Hands off of the human race? No, definitely not. And really, like, there's all kinds of pride and nationalism and divisions in the world that are centered around language. If Jehovah supposedly wanted everyone to be in unity with each other and to actually like get along peacefully and everything else, then why confuse the languages? What's the big deal if people, at least for a time, are wanting to stay in one place? Apparently, well, as we were often told as Jehovah's Witnesses, Jehovah's got a timetable, and I guess these people weren't moving at Jehovah's speed, and so had to go and scatter them with all of these languages. Free will? No. But I think I'm repeating myself a little bit with that one. But the other thing about this account that really like bothers me especially is how controlling it really is. And how trolly it actually is. Trolly, that's a word, right? Trolly? Troll-like? Yeah. There's just no rhyme or reason to really think that, you know, you have to make people scatter over the earth in order to fill it. And even if that's the case, like, okay, again, could not have Jehovah have just come down or sent an angel down to be like,
hey, guys, you know, this tower that you're building is, all great and dandy. You know, it's awesome to see you working in unity.
wait, does that sound familiar? Huh.
But, would you mind, like, you know, once you're done here, like, keep it going? Like, you know, there are other towers you could build just like this one.
Oh no. We've got to start putting divisions in amongst humankind. The fun part about this, and some of you might have seen this in a JW Broadcasting rebuttal video or maybe the actual video itself, but Watchtower was really patting itself on the back for all of the languages that their website and their literature is translated into, and one of them said, "We are undoing the effects of Babel." if Babel was an act of God, supposedly, then doesn't that mean Watchtower is fighting against God? I mean, that was his, her, its doing in the first place. And now they're just fighting against that by undoing the effects? Pretty cocky. This video also just kind of seems a little timely considering the announcement at the annual meeting that they're going to be building a new media studio in upstate New York. Could we get somebody to maybe go down there and scramble a few brains and scatter them out amongst the rest of the world? I mean, you know, when they're all speaking one language like this, then there's nothing that it's impossible for them to do. Scatter! Scatter! Things that make you go, Now, what would that sound like in German? Catch you next time.